Hey, what's up? This is my 5 minutes on why you should have played at least a little bit of Darkest Dungeon sometime in 2016. So this is a town. We're about 3 weeks in. I mainly play this game on Vita, but now I'm playing it on PS4 for this video. You got the stagecoach is where you recruit new heroes. I've already got the guys that I need right now. When your character sends them to two places, you can send them to the tavern to de-stress, or you can send them like I have with Jesse White up there to the Abbey to get de-stressed. So he's praying right now to de-stress a little bit. There's also a sanitarium, which I haven't unlocked, but that's where you send people to cure their diseases. There's a graveyard. I don't have anybody dead yet in this game, but people will die. You can go to the guild, and this is where you upgrade people's skills. I'll show you my healer, Sasan. I've upgraded his 2 healing skills because that's important early on in the game. And down here at the blacksmith, this is where you upgrade weapons and armor. And you can see that for both Tim and Derek, my 2 main fighters, I've upgraded their armor so that they're a little bit tougher. You can collect items, give those to people. Press L2, you can find out about them. So there's some deep stuff. We're going to get into it, though. We're going to go on our journey here. I got to add somebody, so we're going to take John Blackmage with us. And we're going to go through a short experience here. We're taking food with us. Some shovels. Some bandages and lots of torches. The torch mechanic we'll talk about in a little bit. You gotta spend gold to make gold. So here we go.
Pace out the halls of your lineage once familiar.
So you can see the map is expanding a little bit. I've got some great scouts in this crew. Your pages here. You can see the combat skills, and we'll talk a little bit about what those do. They also have camping skills, which we won't get into in this, but those are 2 different ways to upgrade people. And you'll see the different classes. This highwayman, he's my trap guy, so he's like 50% good at disabling traps. Somebody like Tim is not as good as disabling traps, but he's got higher resistances to stun and bleed and debuffs and stuff like that. He's also a lot stronger. So you've got kind of base stats and then resistances, combat skills, all of those you can change. And then some things that you can change a little bit are these quirks over here. So like Tim's evasive, so he has a bonus to dodge, less stress in the ruins area, and he's a warrior of light, so better damage if the torch is above 75. It's also got some bad things. Torn rotator, so his melee skills are bad. He'll steal stuff if I try to open chests with him. And in town, he will only pray for stress relief. So that's Tim. And you can see there's different people for sorts of things. Derek Teague, known cheat. He's not allowed to gamble while he's in town. So those are some of the characters here. So we've got a lot of things on the map down here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit and show you. Purple is traps, blue is treasures, and then these room battles will show up as yellow. Some of them show up as blue. My big thing is I'm just exploring. In this one, I think my goal is to explore 90% of the rooms. So I'm going to try to avoid some of these battles right off the bat. We'll run into some eventually. Basically, you walk through the halls here. There's a couple different things to manage. One of those is a torch at the top of the screen that you can see. So when you strike a torch, it gets brighter. If it gets all the way low, you might get ambushed in the dark by people. It also will help you with disabling traps. So if you have your torch lit high, then traps are easier to disarm. And you may even surprise enemies. So let's see what we got here. So no surprise round. This attack causes opponents to bleed. So, ooh, not when you miss though. So hitting them with some different bleeding attacks, the more effects that we can cause on them, the better. These bandits are pretty low level and they're pretty manageable. Different skills for different classes.
Impressive.
And then when you crit on people, it lowers your stress meter. So there's 2 bars to be looking at for each character. There's their health, which is the red, and then there's the white, which is their stress. And so Sasan is my healer. He's a Vestal class. And then
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
John Blackmage is my plague doctor, so he can cause blight. He's also got a pretty cool bleed attack there. Derek Teague's got the range. He's a highwayman, and he can also stun opponents sometimes. So they'll miss a turn now because of that.
Ringing ears. Blurred vision.
So those little black circles are the stress meter going up on those guys. So we want to try to avoid that as much as possible, especially later in the game. The stress meter becomes more important than the health meter because you guys start to just get super healthy.
Continue
Got
the
him.
onslaught. Destroy them.
So we got some treasure here. You can always see what it is. So this is just like a pretty common gem, and it's worth some gold. I'm gonna keep pressing on here. You never know what you're gonna find in a bookshelf. So that increased his stress there. We're gonna spark some torches.
The light. The promise of safety.
And now these rooms are empty, so I don't have to worry about them too much. There's no red bad guys on my map anywhere near me, so that's kind of nice. There's a sign over this one. So that misses the spot. That's a new quirk for him.
The cold stone seems bent on preventing
And
passage.
what that's going to do is, so he just added this quirk, and that's going to give him minus 1% crit. So now and we're going to eat some food with Senor Teague also. Again, not a terrible thing because I know this room's empty. We do have a battle coming up down here, so I'm gonna light some torches, keep
In
that meter
Radiance,
high.
may we find victory.
This game's pretty awesome. Like I said, it's simple, but it's complex. It gets harder and harder. There's more enemy variations the further you go into the game. We'll kind of fight this battle here, and then we'll kind of wrap it up. So I'm gonna try to hit this guy with a plague grenade. So blight and bleed are kind of the two like lasting effects that you can have on people. I'm just gonna try to take this guy in the back down as fast as possible. And that's why I didn't want. So he moved my guy around, and I'm going to show you that there's some different strengths and benefits to having your guys in certain spots. So, for instance, here's Tim Nestor. He can only use these first 2 attacks when he's in the first 2 positions, and that's denoted by those yellow dots. And the red dots are where he can hit. So I don't want him to get pushed so far back that he can't use his main attacks. This pretty much every enemy has a different animation for their attacks, and some of them will have different animations for all of their different attacks, which is pretty cool.
Give them no quarter.
And that guy's gonna be bleeding now, so we know he's gonna drop off any minute. I'm just gonna go ahead and heal my champion here. My Crusader, excuse me.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
So some of these resources, like these crests and some of the other stuff that we've picked up, like these deeds, those are used to upgrade the town. So as you're going through the game, you find new upgrades. So that's pretty awesome. And again, it's just something where you're balancing your inventory, balancing your items. Characters can have items. If you look at Tim, he's got a piece of equipment here. So he's got the Stone of Patience. So minus 10% stress and plus 5% virtue chance. One of my other guys here, let's see, yeah, Derek's got Stone of Endurance, so plus 8% death blow resistance. So that basically just means he's a little more survivable than he was without that item. So you're managing items, managing skills. It's a lot of opportunities. There's, like I said, Ooh, I got hit by that trap. I wasn't paying attention here on the stream. Now here's Tim, and actually it's fine that he got trapped because he was going to try to steal that stuff because of that kleptomaniac perk that he has there.
The way is lit. The path is clear.
We're going to fight this last battle, and then we're going to wrap up the stream.
Strength to follow it.
This is one of my favorite games of the year. It's great on Vita. It's definitely the best handheld game of the year by far. Maybe not the best game overall, but it's a great game.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
Yeah, take him down. So managing character placement, how you attack, when you attack, buffs and debuffs, it's all important to being able to have long-term success in this game. And there we go. That's what I wanted to do. There's actually, I've only got 4 classes here, but you end up having about 14 different classes that you can bring with you in every battle that you can choose from. And then each of those classes can be set up with different moves and then even different camping equipment and stuff. And so, you mix it all together, and all of a sudden it does become a very robust game, I would say. On this guy, maybe get some heals in, rearrange our units. Nice. Like I said, this is one of my favorite games. It's totally worth picking up. It's $12.50 right now on the PlayStation Network store. It's cross-buy and cross-save. No reason not to have this in your inventory. It's definitely worth it.
Brought low and driven into the mud.
So we got some treasure here. That's it for this stream. Hope you guys had a good night, and I'll see you around in Fathers of the Grind.